5 years ago, I started an interesting journey. I gave up my day job, I gave up my company car, that hurt, and I became a student. And I went back to university to do my doctorate in something that I'm absolutely passionate about. First of all, I'm passionate about the egg, but also vitamin D within the egg for human health. In all my years of working with multinational companies with vitamins, I came to understand how we could put something as important as vitamin D into an egg. Now, at the end of the 19th century, over 90% of children in industrialized countries had what we call clinical rickets. Nobody knew what caused this cruel disease. As you can see in that photograph, they have bent legs. They're bent because they do not have strong bones, because one of the factors that they were not getting was vitamin D. Now, it was 1925 that McCullum actually discovered vitamin D, and as we know it today, he found it in cod liver oil. Now, 1925 is less than 100 years ago, and in that time, we have learned so much. I'm going to give you now a very, very brief lesson on the physiology of vitamin D. First of all, the sun hits your skin, and in your skin you have cholesterol. You need cholesterol in your skin to make vitamin D. Very quickly, that 7-dehydrocholesterol is converted into vitamin D3 in your blood. That travels quite quickly to your liver. It only stays in your blood for about 24 hours, not long. And then in your liver, it's actually what we call hydrogenated into 25-hydroxy vitamin D3. Now, that's what we call the storage form. And that stays in your blood and all vertebrate blood for up to 20 to 60 days. Now, when you go to the doctor and you have your vitamin D levels measured, what they measure is your 25-hydroxy vitamin D3, because that is your storage form of vitamin D. A very, very small amount of that will go to the kidney, and in the kidney it's transformed into what we call 125-dihydroxy. Now that's very, very potent. It actually acts like a hormone in the body, and it's required in very, very small amounts, and it's tightly regulated. Now, in my talk today, I'm going to talk about two compounds. I'm going to talk about cholecalciferol, which we call vitamin D3, and that's the one that's in your blood for only 24 hours. The other one I'm going to talk about is what we call 25-hydroxy D3, and that's what we call the storage form of vitamin D. Now, 1 microgram of vitamin D3 equals 40 international units, but 1 microgram of 25-hydroxy D3 equals 200. In other words, 25-hydroxy vitamin D3 has 5 times the potency in human nutrition. I'm going to talk about international units now for vitamin D, because when we talk about vitamin D, whether it's in a layer diet or in human nutrition, we tend to talk in terms of international units. Now, what's the function of vitamin D in all vertebrates? If you have a bone in your body, you need vitamin D. Now, vitamin D controls 85% of the calcium transfer from your intestine into your bloodstream by the calcium binding protein. Now, it also controls 40% of your phosphorus transfer from your intestine into your blood. It controls your reabsorption of calcium from bone. That's very important in the laying hen who has to get her calcium from some of her calcium from her bone. It also controls reabsorption of calcium from the kidney. It's involved in the immune system, with most cells of the body having vitamin D receptors. Vitamin D receptors now, they're fascinating. In every cell in your body, whether it's your brain, your muscle, your skin, you will have vitamin D receptors. And they're receptors that the vitamin D latches onto. What we're finding now is that helps control the health of that cell. It also controls cell proliferation and differentiation, which we're only just starting to understand. It's involved with cancer.